Welcome back to Score on Business. We thought it would be a great opportunity today to interview Pete Hendrix and learn more about him. So Pete Hendrix is the founder of Integritec. They assist businesses in acquiring quality technology products and services from companies that really care about customer satisfaction. Today he's going to talk to us about technology for companies with 1 to 5 team members. Welcome.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Of course, I'm always here.
So Pete, tell us about Integritec.
Okay, so at Integritec, we, which is me, a one-man shop, and the focus is on usually mid-sized businesses and some smaller businesses with the tech leader and partnering with them when they have needs around analytics, around infrastructure areas such as cloud, such as data center, such as voice or internet or wide area network. Then we work with them to get solutions implemented such that the implemented solution matches the upfront promises. And there are a couple of things that support that. One is the business model is that I'm a broker. And that means that I represent multiple providers and all of the different areas. And so I don't have to worry about trying to get something to fit. If somebody gets something from me, then I'll get paid, and I like focusing on what's best for them, what's the best combination of value as well as quality to achieve what they need. And then with technology, you know, it's not like your iPhone where you download the app and it works. It has to be implemented, and I stay involved to make sure that that happens effectively. And once it's implemented, there's after the service sale, which you know, want to have happy customers.
What a great resource for businesses.
Yeah, and they don't have to pay me. The companies that I represent pay.
What a great arrangement. Cybersecurity has been all over the news lately. Tell us about cybersecurity.
Okay, the security. We live in a new world. You know, before 9/11, flying was easy. And after 9/11, we had to change the way we do things. And it's not as convenient, but it's what we have to do. That's where we are with cybersecurity now. And the reason that cybersecurity is such a big problem is that people don't care. They're not ready to take the actions that are needed. And so with an entrepreneur who's probably not a tech person, they have to make the cybersecurity front and center. And they have to be the ones who are talking about the importance of it. Everything that I talk about today will probably tie into security in one way or another.
So it's really important for small companies.
Oh, absolutely. The small companies are often a target because they're, you know, the bad guys go after the whatever's easiest.
The easiest.
And so some things that entrepreneurs need to know. Password management is important, and I use LastPass for password management. It's there's plenty of other good ones out there, but that allows me to have different passwords for everything. A lot of people use one password for multiple sites. Well, the bad guys know that, and so they will get it for the one site and use it elsewhere. And so that's important. Multi-factor authentication is the single most important thing, and with multi-factor, it can work a couple of different ways, but the most common is that when a user logs in, the first time they'll receive a text and that'll have a 6 or 7 number code that they have to enter. And then every so often they'll have to do it again. What's happening behind the scenes though is it's not lost on the cybersecurity leaders that most of the hacking comes from certain countries, which is not the United States. So if you're logging in every day from Nashville, Tennessee, and all of a sudden somebody tries to hit it from wherever, from Bulgaria or from, there's a bunch of places that happens, it's going to send a code. And you won't realize that, you know, that it's going to do that. But if you get a code and you haven't tried to log in, you know, someone's probably trying to get in, maybe change the password. And then the third important thing, just like a lion goes after the straggler, the easiest place for hackers to hit companies is via the employees. And the way they do it are with emails that are, you know, they call it phishing, P-H-I-S-H-I-N-G, and it'll be encouraging them to click on the link.
Right.
And I would encourage entrepreneurs to Google phishing training, and there will be things that will come up at a high level. If I get an email and it's not from somebody that I'm expecting, I simply don't click on anything.
Sure.
And I have a customer who I'm also their customer. And so I got an email from them the other day, and they're like, hey, we've noticed you haven't paid your bill. Well, I pay bills.
Sure.
And companies need to be paid when they do work, and on top of that, they're my customer. So, you know, I don't want them. And so I said, well, I don't think I've been getting the invoice. And he said, here, we'll send it again right quick. Well, I had been getting those. I thought they were phishing emails. And so I didn't click on it. And so knowing what I know now if I knew everything I knew now, I would have opened it and paid it. But knowing what I know now, in a lot of ways, I would have done the same thing. So the fact that I didn't click on that, it caused consternation with the company. The companies need to get paid.
Right.
They are my customer.
Sure.
And they did most of the work I hired them for. And I didn't realize it, and so didn't have input there. Even with all of that, I'm still glad that I didn't click on it, because phishing, and you know, it's not lost on bad guys that entrepreneurs often make a lot of money.
Absolutely.
And so they are absolutely targets.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's such a big issue right now. Well, let's shift gears a little bit. Computers.
Yes.
What types of computers are you recommending for small businesses?
I am a fan of Apple computers. And for small business, there's a couple of things. Most entrepreneurs are not in the tech business. And so while technology is really important, I would rather see them focus on what they do. And with the Apple and the Mac computers, there are not nearly as many cyber threats.
Okay.
There are cyber threats, but you know, 90% of the world is running Windows. That's where the hackers put most of the attention. And with the Macs, they work, they're intuitive, and there aren't a lot of problems. If the worst case scenario is that you have to reinstall the operating system, but it doesn't impact your data. And that's why I like Macs.
That's great to know, great to know. Well, let's talk about the cloud.
With Macs, now Macs won't work for everybody. As an example, if somebody is a bookkeeper, QuickBooks for Mac may not have all the features that QuickBooks on the PC does.
So you really need to be aware of what you're getting.
Yeah, you have to be aware. If somebody's doing a lot with Excel on the PC is stronger. That's the one caveat.
So you've got to make the determination.
And so what were you asking about cloud?
So cloud computing. So how should small companies take advantage of the cloud?
Everything should be in the cloud. And it touches back to security. It touches back to having the focus on growing your business. If you can have things in the cloud, then somebody who is a professional that knows what they're doing is taking care of your software and taking care of the computers. You don't have to worry about that.
Sure.
So for my business, the only software that I run on my computer is Microsoft Office.
Okay.
A lot of small businesses will do better with, or do as well or better with the Google Business Suite. With Google, I wouldn't need anything on my computer.
Okay.
The online versions of Word and the Microsoft Office Suite are not as strong as the one that's on the computer. That's the only software that runs on my computer. And I'm in the business of working with customers. The software to run a business like mine is called CRM. I have CRM. It's cloud-based, so I don't have to worry about security, or I have to worry about my password. I don't have to worry about anything, and that's where it needs to be.
Sure.
Another thing that's really important is backing up systems.
Sure.
And what I do, I use CrashPlan for one, and it backs up constantly. So with CrashPlan, if I'm working on a file this morning and 2 hours later the computer crashes, that file will be where I can go get it.
That's so important. There's nothing more frustrating than losing work like that.
And the technology changes a lot. As best I understand, viruses can't upload via that technology, and CrashPlan's not the only one. There's lots of good ones. Also, I run most of what I do is email and Microsoft Word. I have that. I'm using Microsoft Office 365, and it backs up immediately.
Right.
And so if something happens, if my computer crashes, if it gets stolen, I'm not losing any data.
So important.
It used to be that people would have to remember to back up and then would not do it, and then bad things would happen. With the ones that automatically back up, there's just not a good reason not to do it.
And time is money, so you really don't want to have to lose data like that.
Yeah.
Well, Pete, this is fascinating and very, very helpful to all of the entrepreneurs out there listening. So we appreciate us letting us interview you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next week, and I hope some of these tips were good today. Thanks. Okay, and then we'll sit here and talk.